Can we talk about trains for a second? Like,
sure.
Because here's the thing. We're going to Denver, right? We're all going to Rocky Mountain.
Yes, indeed.
And we all have to get on a plane, basically. I mean, we could drive. DMS isn't, because DMS has to bring equipment.
I got to drive.
So he's got to drive, which is, by the way, I've done that drive, and I've done it from PA, and it is not fun. And it isn't Kansas's fault. It's Nebraska and Colorado are the worst.
And Kansas.
But
Kansas is pretty terrible.
I would... Let's see, where am I flying? Flying to Denver. I would be willing to take a train instead of a plane. If, here's the thing, I'd be able to pay even a little bit more if I was in the lap of luxury, basically. Leg room, stand up, walk around, food. I'd be absolutely on board for that. However, taking a train anywhere in this country is absurdly expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, well, sometimes.
It's berserkly bizarrely
Is it cheaper than flying?
It can be cheaper than flying. No, it depends on where you're going.
No, Greyhound is cheaper than flying, but trains honestly are like $1,000 to go.
Yeah, but with Greyhound, it's also like a gamble. Like there's a 25% chance that you'll get stabbed.
Oh yeah, no. I don't want to get in a Greyhound bus. Greyhound bus is probably worse than a plane because it's just
going
like
from
the same
Sac to LA
bullshit.
is horrible. Sac to LA, Greyhound
I would
is
love
awful.
to be able to get on a legit train that has like 7 inches of legroom in front of mine. Get up, everyone's nice, just a little bit nicer. Is it cheaper to run a train than a plane? It's got to be close. It's got to be close, but you just can't. It's too expensive.
Well, trains have an issue with the versatility of where they can travel.
Yeah, but
so
I mean,
you have to have
the whole country was built.
It costs $231 to go from New York to Denver on a train.
Consider the fact that if you have to take a train, you have to have 2 points of different transportation. You have to get a ride or walk there, get on the train, and then walk from wherever your destination from is where your drop-off point, or get a ride.
Plane. That's the same as an airport.
Same as a plane, sure.
This is also that 231 is for nicer seating. It goes as cheap as $185.
For what?
To go from New York to Denver by train.
Oh. Is that an option for you?
How many days is that?
It's not an option for me.
I mean, how long would that take?
41 hours.
Oh,
see, that's a thing.
That's 41 hours of just. You're pretty comfortable though.
See, I'd be okay with that because I mean, it's certainly less money, and if I can get up and eat and then use a bathroom that I can actually sit in, I can see the country out the window. And it's not that I'm afraid of airplanes. It's just that airplanes suck usually. And security sucks.
Unless you pay like a hefty price for a first class seat, and even then,
business class is automatically like 1.5. It's like 1.5. It's like 150% more than just standard. It's ridiculous. When I signed up for the plane tickets to Denver, I made sure I paid the extra money to pick the seat. So I picked the ones by the emergency exit. I'm not going to actually pay attention. Everyone will die if there's an emergency, but I have infinite legroom because there's no one in front of me. So it was like $75 going and $65 coming back extra to have that. You know what? If I was sitting there and I didn't have that, I would be looking down at my legs going, would it have been worth $12 to have my legs not be crushed for a whole hour? And the answer is yes. I flew to Japan. My very first flight was Philly to Detroit and Detroit to Japan. And it was not the most comfortable thing I've ever done. I got lucky though, because the person sitting next to me was a small child who lifted up the thing between her and her mother and laid on her mother. So I was able to just like stretch out and did not die.
Nice.
Oh, it was so lucky.
I remember the one time that I flew to Europe, one of the people walking down the aisle spilled ice water on me. And I had to sit in this freezing airplane for the overnight ride all the way across the ocean.
Jesus.
It was terrible.
Was that
I ended up getting sick.
I'm thinking, you think? That is horrifying. You didn't have, what do you have in your carry-on? You could have gone to the bathroom, changed, or you were just done?
No, it wasn't an option.
It's going to be interesting going to Denver with just a carry-on. Because
are you not bringing anything else with you?
Dryer where we're staying.
We do. At least at Airbnb, there's a washer dryer. We can wear the same clothes every day.
Wait, you're not packing a suitcase?
Me?
Either of you?
I'm just getting like a small bag that maybe 2-3 outfits at most, and then
I have like 3 rolled up pairs of pants, 4 or 5 shirts, socks, and then a recording equipment.
Yeah, recording equipment.
If we want to do the podcast, the way we want to do the podcast, wink, wink. That's about it.
A special podcast episode when we're in Denver. That's gonna be fun.
And to piss everybody off, I'm bringing AirPods.
Great.
Why?
I'm not bringing any special headphones.
Oh, does that? If I pack up, by the way, and I have extra space, anything you guys want me to bring from my archives of?
Can you bring me some of your food?
Yeah,
I'm literally. We're staying at an Airbnb. There's a full kitchen. Will be buying.
What is in your archive? That's the better question. I have no clue.
Yeah. What do you got right now?
Assume everything but those Virum ones, because I had to send them an extra viewer.
Yeah.
Everything else that exists.
Yes, basically.
I don't know. I'll let you know if I see anything that strikes me fancy. But
I'm trying to imagine. I'm trying to think about. I'm taking one pair of IEMs, probably the FIO FH5s for the plane.
Oh, can somebody bring Andromedas?
You think?
Are you kidding me? DMS probably has them surgically installed at this point.
Yeah, here, let me just...
You should look at getting that permanently, like, placed in your ear.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely bringing them. And you're not going to hear the end of it.
He's not even going to be listening at Rocky Mountain. He's just going to be listening to Andromedas in every room screaming, "You got to hear how good these are! These are the greatest!"
That's my plan, yeah. Just gonna...
I mean, okay, so what are the laws against, like, poking someone's tweeter?
Don't.
Ooh, just don't. The law is don't.
Written law, but I mean, if you damage someone's stuff, that's like grounds.
There's a man following you with a pistol. If you touch anyone's tweeter, instant death penalty.
Well, they're listening to this podcast right now, even though there's only probably like 8
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you're already on their watch list, Josh.
That's pretty funny. I'm not going to poke anyone's tweeter, I promise.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I would have a Josh Fowler's reviews, and I'd stick the stickers in the back of every $50,000 pair.
It's like they have on gas stations where they put up pictures of people who have stolen shit. I'm like all over in every room.
You just got to get a bunch of Josh approved stickers. I know, Z, you were saying you should get some Joshua Valor stickers. You get some Josh approved stickers, and when you like something, you say Josh approved, and you slap it on the tweeter. People just like you see the blood drain from their face.
Right on the varnish
sticker, the size of a human hand. And he's got to be like, "This speaker's great," and he just slaps his whole hand against it, and it leaves a hand-sized sticker.
It's got to be like 3M sticky stuff too.
No. It's got to be better than that. It's got to be an epoxy that you spray. Before you do it, you spray it to really wet it, and then you slap it, and then it starts sizzling as it melts into whatever material it's on.
That's
road reflector.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Nice. That's so messed up. I will never do that. Don't kick me out, please. I would never.
I got to make new business cards. Oh, you all bring?
I haven't made business cards in like a year and a half. I need to do that too.
My business cards exist, and I have tons of them. However, I'm stupid, and I put my phone number on it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want these people calling me.
Yeah, you should never, ever do that.
You know, honestly, I think just having them pull out their phone, which they're going to have anyway, and then just been like, just look up Joshua.
No. You're gonna want to hand. There's gonna be people there that are talking. You're gonna slide in there and go, "Excuse me, here's my card."
Let's put it this way. How many people could you maximum, like, without being obnoxious about it, give out?
545 cards.
I was gonna say I gave away around like 450 cards.
Okay, so 450 cards. How many eyeballs on YouTube do you think you're gonna get on an RMAF video?
It wasn't YouTube eyes. It was all companies that were like, like offering to send things or new contacts and things like that.
So but then you take their card if you want their stuff.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I have a pile of cards behind me that I've never contacted anybody because I never have a gap in time where I'm like, I have nothing to review.
But it's also nice because these people will then reach out to you. They're like, "Oh wait, I have the card for this reviewer." They hit you up and they're like, "Hey, this is, here's this thing. Do you want to check it out?" Like,
you know what I think we should do? I think we should we should go to one of those sites that you can link a QR code to a website, and then just have a QR code picture on your phone.
My original cards had that. My original business cards had r/Zeos. It's r/Zeos from Reddit because they didn't have anything else. I wasn't even doing reviews at that point. And the next one was like, well, Donna, I want to be able to put. Now here's a question.
I think business cards are kind of just out of fashion.
I'm not bragging this, but am I the most subs of any audio reviewer on YouTube?
No.
Who other than not a tech reviewer? Audio reviewer.
Define audio reviewer.
Someone who just reviews audio gear.
90% audio stuff and not like graphics card and phones and bullshit. Like Marcus Brownlee is not an audio reviewer.
True.
Unbox Therapy is not an audio reviewer.
That's true. Technically,
yes. Only one technically. I mean, that blows my mind, because if that is true, then what the hell is wrong with YouTube? Because
how many views do you have total on your channel, if you don't mind disclosing? If you don't want to say, that's fine.
Views?
Yeah, total.
A lot.
All time.
7 million? Hold on, let me see.
Excuse me. You have 29,900,000 views.
I think it's like 600. Hold
600
on. Yeah,
what?
29. I have 29. I've got 30 million views total.
30 million views for audio,
and 111,000 subscribers.
You got to count the bidets I've opened up and reviewed, because I actually have one to do again. But look, my numbers are at least back up.
Okay, so here's another way to look at this, though. You may have more subscribers than any other audio channel, but Marquez probably has more views about audio than you do.
Oh, of course.
Well, so then who's more influential?
Marquez isn't an audio reviewer, though. He's the kind of guy that gets on there and he's like, these headphones are really good.
M50s are the best thing that's ever happened since anything.
Money is money to these companies.
Well, that would make Unbox Therapy
I think if
he has 12 million subscribers.
If you were going to ask what, I mean, with your specific question, me not trying to snake out of it, yeah, you have the most. Paul's catching up there. He's got like 45,000. So,
like, for example, Z, you're a headphone guy who occasionally throws in bidets. Marquez Brownlee is a phone guy who occasionally throws in headphones.
Correct. Marcus Brownlee. I don't know how you review phones. People are asking me to review phones, and I'm like, it's a phone.
I would love to review phones. They're just too damn expensive.
Spec reading, and then like notifying people of problems, I think.
And well, every phone is a different user experience.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah. You have to use a phone for like 2 months to figure out all its idiosyncrasies.
That's why he carries several phones.
When you're getting paid freaking $5,000-$10,000 for a review and they want it done in a week, you're gonna get that shit done in a week.
And you're gonna make shit up. I don't rush any reviews, no matter who's telling me to do shit. I'm like, it's gonna be 3 weeks just for me to touch it.
I mean, you could also delegate different aspects to a team if you have it.
Well, teams are in the future, but not now.
My dog's being really cute, by the way.
And then, when you're talking about, like, let's say, like a Samsung, it's like you don't have to re-review everything. You just have to highlight what's a little bit different, what's new, stuff like that. Take a couple pictures of the camera and call it good. I mean, it's the same thing as like a headphone. It's like we can explain with words all we want, but there's not a combination of words that is going to give you the experience of actually listening to that headphone. We can get close, but we can't explain it exactly to make you understand completely. So it's kind of the same thing with phones. It's like there's going to be things that little nuances here and there that people like and dislike.
Right.
So it's just a matter of figuring out how to express.
You have to have like a checklist of like 30 things and say this phone is slippery.
I actually was going to do gaming mice, but I've decided not to.
I've dabbled in everything. I've done keyboards, mice. I've done bidets. I've done what was the weirdest thing I reviewed?
Well, I've
done phone blocks, but those are audio related.
Here's my kind of thought process with the mice: is there was one big thing that all the mice people were running towards, and they've achieved it, which is wireless. And the light speed stuff that Logitech is coming out with is, at least to me, indistinguishable from wired.
Oh yeah,
Logitech makes good mice. I mean, I use either the this one right here, the G203 or the MX Master.
If I can send 1080p 60 video wirelessly from my streaming rig to my computer with almost no lag, I'm pretty sure they can handle mouse moves forward, mouse moves sideways.
Well, I mean, honestly, until this generation, I always felt, okay, well, let me say, the previous generation, the G900, I didn't notice lag in terms of what I could actually see and tell the difference just between paying attention to it, but I could never game as well on it. So I considered that a little bit of a proof that it was a little bit behind. Not much, but a little bit. With the, I have both the 603 here and the 305, and the performance is as good, if not better, in both practicality and what I can actually visually tell. It's indistinguishable from a wired mouse, if not better, because you don't have to deal with a wire, and they're super, super lightweight now. I think the G900 or the G305 is like 80 gram or 89 grams or something with a lithium battery, so it's super light for wireless.
I always weighed my mouse down. I almost never, when I got those like weights, I'd shove them all in there. I like a heavy mouse feel.
I think it depends on what DPI you're using. I use a low DPI, so I need to move far and quickly, so I have to have a lightweight mouse for that.
I have like 1600 on mine.
Oh yeah, I'm like a quarter of that. I'm at 400.
Well, why don't you just put it up to a higher number and then lower the actual speed in Windows so you get a little more accuracy?
I disable the Windows processing, I think, or at least the acceleration factor of it.
Well, acceleration, yeah, but no. Usually you can put it up and down.
I mean, either way, you end up with the same result. Like, it really doesn't, you know, the sensor doesn't have a sweet spot performance for them unless there's something wrong with it.
You're polling the surface 1/4 as much as I am, and then just having Windows exaggerated. So you're getting like bigger chunks. I would play with that. That would be like my only advice to you is put a higher DPI and lower it down in Windows.
I mean, I'll kick most people's asses in a first-person shooter anyway, so I don't know.
He's just dropping bombs here.
Yeah.
He's like full of himself. I think we're gonna get to Denver, and he's just gonna be like, "You're all my bitches now."
Basically.
No. Anyways,
I'm gonna get something really fast. I gotta grab something from my closet.
The reason why I've decided not to do gaming mice is just because at this point, since we're no longer like racing towards a big change, and you're only going to be dealing with, you know, oh, this one has extra buttons or this extra small feature that's, you know, maybe a little bit better or a little bit faster or whatever. It's mostly just going to be spec reading and just saying it just depends on your hand size.
I have really the SwiftPoint Z. I kickstarted the SwiftPoint Z. It was $155 to kickstart it. It's like a $300 mouse. And it is the most complicated like design with actual like load cells and every button.
Crazy.
And the control scheme is like writing code, and I can make it. I hit a button and it changes track. And if I hit the button harder, it pauses the music. And if I hit that same button and use my scroll wheel, it changes the volume and foobar. It's insane. And I was going to review it, and every time I would sit down to like play with it and try to understand it, I couldn't get within 10% of the knowledge I would need to actually review this mouse. Because it's like, oh, it's very smooth and accurate. And the buttons are great. That's it. Let's review this mouse. If you're someone who's going to obsessively figure out how to use... Like, I love the fact, like, I literally pick it up off the desk. If I pick it up off the desk and tilt it, the little on-screen, it's got an OLED screen on it. I use my scroll wheel without touching anything else. It just changes the DPI. Pick it up, scroll wheel, put it back down. Done. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's an amazing feature, but it's just like...
It's explaining your experience and reading specs, and that's pretty much all what all that mouse reviews come down to nowadays. Is like, before at least, like I could be like, okay, well, this wireless mouse is really, really close, and maybe it's worth it for the money to a wired mouse. And that was like everything before, I would say maybe a year ago was like that. It was really, really close, but not quite. And everything else was just like features. It was like, oh, this has side buttons. The side buttons are a little bit squishier, you know, whatever it is.
I've never gotten more negative feedback than when I did a mouse review, because gamers showed up that don't come in my channel.
Yeah, no, that's like, a dangerous territory.
What kind of crap is this? Yeah. You're not talking about the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's just a mouse. And they're like, no. It was so many.
It's a lifestyle.
It was,
right.
Yeah,
well, that's how we are with headphones.
Yeah, I mean, it's like let's complain about unbox therapy, and he's not even talking about sibilance in the fucking eye. It's just I
was talking to Steve Master about that the other day.
Yep, actually, we literally were. So it's entirely from community to community. Everybody has their niche, and that's the thing. This is our niche. Yeah. This is why we.
I think this is just the thing that we understand, and other people have things that they understand. They just have a more complicated or more analytical approach to their understanding of it. That's all.
And a lot more people care about pointy clickies than people care about headphones.
That's true.
So there's that.
I try to keep it simple. That's why I don't take my reviews very seriously.
Oh, I mean,
too many people do, and it scares them out of this hobby.
I don't use anything crazy. I'm using an old HP membrane keyboard. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have some nicer peripherals, but for me, it's not as much of a priority as, oh, I need to have like 80 pair of headphones.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think you don't need 80, you need 17.
Yes, I do. I need all of them.
Well, I don't have 17. I probably own, how many are on my wall? 13 on my wall? Is that right? 6 and 7.
Oh, do you have iSigns?
I have every type of iSign and the LXs.
Bring some of those, please. I am curious about those. Although I might even be able to hear them at RMAF, so maybe
you will be able to hear them at RMAF, but you'll be hearing them in a loud room.
Do you have the app? You have an Apple phone?
Yes.
You're running an Apple. What a loser! But I'll bring it because I have the Apple adapter.
They sound way better with the Apple adapter.
You know,
if it makes phone calls and text messages, I'm happy. I don't care about phones.
Yeah, you're bad. You're a bad person. That's all.
What? You were just talking about how
you can't even look at porn on an iPhone. Everything blocks it. That's terrible. That's a terrible business plan on there. You are not allowed to download any apps on your app store that let you look at pornographic content, except for browsers. I have
to get an app for that.
Like Telegram. You're in Telegram, right? I could link you to like 45 porn channels, and they're all going to be blocked because you own an iPhone. And I look because my girl's got it, and she's like, they're all blocked now. It's just that's Apple sticking their head into shit that they should not be sticking their head into. Go.
I don't care about any of that. If it makes calls and text messages, I'm happy because that's all I use.
Then why not just get an Android thing? Because they do that same thing. Only you could do other things, and we won't call you a loser.
I have no issue with Android. I just don't have one. That's all. That's literally the only thing. Like this phone was like.
So you're saying the next GoFundMe is to get Josh off of the Apple ecosystem? Gotcha.
Or to help me get into a newer phone because I have, broken phone with no charging port.
Wow.
Yeah, that sucks. My phone works just fine. So
why don't you start reviewing phones, man? Get free phones.
I just want to get I'm just gonna get a used first gen Pixel and use that for a while when I can afford it.
Like the used Pixel is the one that burst into flames.
No, that was the Note 8. Or was it Note 7?
No, I think this Pixel still ran hot. My cousin had a Pixel.
I don't think the Pixels ran hot.
Nav, it would overheat in like 25 minutes if it was in the sun.
I don't think that was the Pixel.
Whatever it was.
Well, what about what are they? The one do you know which ones I'm talking about? Like they're called like one something. Yeah, those are supposed to be a good value, right?
Yeah, those are really good.
I don't know anything about phones though, so okay. Cool. So check that out. I think they're super cheap too.
Oh. No. She wants to play so bad right now, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm doing the podcast. I'm sorry, Puck.